Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM22. It's Youth Factory. We are beginning episode number 13. Lucky number 13. Well, will we strike lucky today? Good question. We have a lot to play for still in our season. Penultimate match. This plus one more to go. That's it. And yet, we have not clinched a title. I told you things were going to start getting tighter, and yes, they have. And oh, look, who's the opponent? It's the opponent. It's the team that sits in second place. It's the team that could take the title away from us, that could force us to stay in this division another season. They still have a lot to do. They have to win. They also have to win their next match. So we do have the advantage. We have a 5-point lead. So a draw would be sufficient, because we would maintain that 5-point lead, and there would only be 3 points left available in the final match of the season. So a draw's enough. Of course we want to win. Of course we want to win. All right, well, here's our situation, because, well, it's not all roses. As we get a great through ball, you can see Snellingen on the field. The reason why Snellingen's out there and not Ace Rod got a U21's call-up to Kosovo. He's not here. He's on trip. I only had a couple players called up, so they did not move the date. But yes, our best scorer, well, along with Lavas, our best scorer, unavailable. Okay, fine. Oh, that was so close. Also, Yildiz on the field. He's on the pitch because, well, Severide, yellow card accumulation, suspension. So I'm down 2 fairly key players as Langvad. Nearly. That's center back. That's a wide center back up. Nearly gets a goal on that one. It's almost halftime, folks. It is almost halftime already. Matheson, Ostby, Norheim. Thought he had some space to the outside to take it. Doesn't. Malum just sticks a leg out. Draws the silly foul. Not a big fan of that type of play in the game. There's somebody near me. They're breathing near me. Oh, I went down. I call that Jose Mourinho tactics, and that's been Chelsea ever since. That's why, personally, I'm not just a non-fan of Chelsea. I'm definitely a Chelsea hater. And then there's the big money clubs. Oh, that was so close. That was off the post. That's not a corner. That's a goal kick. Keeper missed it. That thing nearly went in. But yeah, your Man Cities, your Chelseas, your PSGs, eventually your Newcastles, but not yet. Not yet. I've been hoping for them as the little guy for a long time. The little guy that could. The little guy that I remember from beautiful movies. Oh my gosh, I have not seen Goal and the subsequent sequels to that in quite a few years. Oh, that took a big deflection. Keeper diving the way of the original ball would have had nothing on that. That thing would have been in the back of the net for sure. But the deflection goes high and wide, and it's halftime. And while the XG favors us, shots and the on target are pretty dang even. We pulled away just towards the end of the half to accumulate quite a bit more XG than them. Otherwise, this thing, neck and neck. Team is motivated and focused for the most part. Just a couple that are not. Darlishta has been a constant problem. Maybe I need to bring on Ostby, who... Oh, not Ostby. He's got a name. Astencio. There we go. Astencio, who the assistant manager adores. And while I don't, he has done well. He leads the team in assists. And Darlishta has been, well, less than stellar for us. So maybe that's a good idea. You know what? Let's do it. Uh-oh. Oh, you saw what I saw, right? Wide open for the cross, and no defenders anywhere in sight. Oh, their XG just flew from half a goal to 0.8 of a goal. Oh my goodness. That should have been in the back of the net. That was a terrible take, and Snellingen blows it for us. We're missing Ace Rod big time at the moment. Hour gone by. Snellingen on the corner. Gets to Malum. Wide open. Free header. And he takes a terrible take, and they get a ball in the back of the net. They get a ball in the back of the net. This season is not done, folks. Terrible marking. Everybody's standing around wondering what the heck is going on. And I can't even change tactics. Come on, Gabe. Come on. This is many minutes gone by here. I'm really not a fan of the delayed confirm changes thing that stops everything else. You lose 20 minutes of the game in an instant when you're playing at an accelerated pace. Just like that, 20 minutes gone by, and you can't make any changes? Seriously? I mean, we need a point to seal this title, otherwise this goes into the final match. Lavas is having a terrible day. I really don't have a backup for him. Not a proper one. Honore Boyachiev. Okay, he's coming on. And there it is again. Confirm changes. That's not normal. Every once in a while it just pops up and screws you over. XG, come on, guys. They get another dangerous free kick and nearly make it too. Stensby Jakobsen rises up, pats that one away. Probably should have hung on to it as it was pretty much right at his face, but... Alright, here we go. Norheim running down the sideline. Takes it to the corner flag. Great cutback. That's a corner. That is a corner, right? Yes. Corner kick. 90th minute. Matheson. Snellingen. Ostby. What the F are you doing, buddy? That was a horrible waste of possession. Funny story for you. I play on 2 co-ed indoor teams, right? One of the teams, our name, Never Had It. Yes, that is our team name. Now, there's a funny story that goes on with the Never Had It. Now, indoor, fairly small field, but also a fairly small goal. There's not a lot of space, and that keeper gets plenty of time to react to any part of that goal. Time's up. We're going to lose this one, and they are going to close to within 2 points with 1 match to play. Meaning, our season is not done. Our title has not been wrapped up today. You got to be kidding me. I mean, it was all us in the first half, and then that stupid little bam 20 minutes flying by from that goal that everybody just stood around for and watched go into the back of the net. Okay, not the result we were hoping for today by any means. We looked pretty comfortable. They were never threatening until that goal. Yes, they were picking up XG. Yes, they were getting shots, unlike a lot of our opponents. But you can clearly see from the opponent that they weren't threatened by us. We weren't totally dominant. They didn't look to be threatening much, and they were fortunate to get that goal. Even with that goal, and you could see probably a third to half of their XG came on, well over half of their XG. Okay, probably 65%, 2/3, almost 60%, I'll say, come from just these 2 attempts, right? That one, this one. And those are back-to-back attempts. One early in the second half, one that little bit later. That's most of their XG for the entire match. Outside of those 2 moments, we were pretty much in control of this thing. And you can see the numerous times that we should have had the ball in the back of the net. We should have had a couple of goals here, but only 2 shots on target. We absolutely blew it. We were desperately missing. Lavas had a terrible day, and we were without Ace Rod. So that hurt. Our defense, without their defensive captain, Severede, struggled as well. Norheim, he's had a mixed season. He hasn't done terribly well. The rookie, the young kid, just out of the last youth intake, he's had a mixed season. That being said, okay, my story. Let me finish my story. The reason why our team is called Never Had It is we have a player who's played with us for years, and it's amateur, it's friends, it's you deal with things, you put up with things, you move on. I have a player who's so bad that they practically just stand on the field, but it's also they play a special role within the team, and therefore they've stayed with us. And again, it's a friend. You deal with it. It makes us a lot worse as a team competitively, but we deal with it, we move on, and we know how to deal with it. We know to direct pass anything, even a foot away from them, is going to be an incomplete pass. It's going to be taken by the other team. But we have this one player who every time we kick off, after the other team has scored, beginning of the game, beginning of the half, whatever it is, every time we kick off, they try to score from the spot. Now, it's not that long of a kick, but we're amateurs. They're definitely an amateur. And in 6 years, I think they've scored twice. In 6 years, in hundreds of times trying it. Somebody joked a few years back that they never had it. And that became our other team that they don't play on. They play on one of the two teams, and a lot of us play on both. The other team name, as a joke, became Never Had It. Well, today, we never had it. Let's see if we'll have it on the final day of the season. Seriously, this team, it's coming down to the final day of the season on whether we are going to gain promotion, whether we're going to win successive titles yet again and continue our climb up the ladder past the halfway point. It's all to play for. Let's see one more match. And we're into that final match. Complete first 11 this time. We've got our guys back, so let's see how they can perform as a unit. Now, here is the scenario. We are up by 2 points and with a positive 8 goal differential. So if we draw and Sandved win, we'll be equal on points, but I doubt that they're going to go better than +8 in that game. They're not going to win that game by 9 goals. Probably. Here's the other part of that situation. Both teams at home. So that part, well, fairly easy, fairly straightforward. Both teams should be coming away with a win because we are playing the 8th place side, they are playing the 9th place side, and both of those teams, even though they're only one spot above relegation, 10th, well, 10th place has already been relegated heading into this final match, so both of them are clear of the drop and nothing to play for. They've been fighting a relegation battle for a long time. Today, they're just trying to ruin the title hopes of one team or the other in that matter. So, all we have to do is not lose today. Lovas through goal! There it is, 19th goal of the season for Lovas. I would love to see him reach 20 today. Oh, that would be huge. I don't think we've had a 20-goal season yet with this club. As dominant as we've been, big part of it's been our defense. Other clubs not getting anywhere near us. And because of the short seasons with the limited number of teams, as Ace Rod, that looked pretty clean, actually. Dangerous, but clean. Great sliding tackle there. Desperate sliding tackle. But Darlishta! First goal of the season, and it's 2. We haven't even played 7 minutes yet. It's not over yet. We've got to keep our foot on the pedal, but that was fantastic. Lovas with the cross. Darlishta right on that far post. A little bit out. I mean, almost to the penalty spot. But nice finish. Nice finish. Didn't take much. Well offside, but no flag. That's going to be out for a goal kick. And that was their first attempt of the game. And because it was through, because it was one-on-one with the keeper, that was outside of the box where he finally took the attempt, that amounted to a decent amount of XG. But that's been it. That's been it. Half hour played. Norheim picks up a yellow. We might look to sub him early, as I really, really do not want to get us in trouble by having to play with 10 men. Our XG is only 1, yet we have 3 goals right now. Lovas picks up an injury. He will not get that 20th goal. Potential growing injury. Ouch. That hurts. I think I want to bring on Honore this time. Let's bring on Honore and let him finish this one out. There you go. Norheim still likely to be subbed off pretty early in the second half. Dangerous free kick. Can we make it 4? And we do. Severide, third goal of the season for the center back. That I think just put this thing to bed. They're not getting 4 goals. Title probably secure. Let's go ahead and speed things up towards the end. I won't put it away yet. Let's go time lapse on this one. And there it is. The title has been secured. 5-0 in the end. We didn't even get 2 in the XG department today. We were very clinical. Our opposition was really, really up for the challenge. Sandved, 6-0 against Mastra. They were down to 10 men, which was a bit of a contributing factor. And it was 2-0 at the time that they went down to 10. Penalty, late minute goals, but they were desperate to try to get that win. They nearly did what they needed to do if we had only drawn. They weren't far from it, so fair play to them for a very well-played season, providing us with our first loss. They got their first loss of the season in the match right before they played us, so they were bouncing back from their first loss of the year. We had a draw in that one, so we only stretched the lead from 4 points to 5 points at that stage, and the final tally, 43-41. Incredibly close. The other divisions all had 20 matches played where we played 18. So keep that in mind as we look at the points. But look how close. It looks like there was one more promotion. Okay. So one more team was promoted. I don't know how that works. Mercantile on 40 points gains promotion. So there's a 5th team going up. How that is decided, I don't know. Because if it's based off of points per match, which would seem to make the most sense when you're talking about unequal divisions. That's 2 points per match. Okay, sure, that's better than Rotherud. Krakeroy, they've only played 19, and they've already got 41 points. So even if they lose their final match, they'll still have a slightly better than 2 points per match ratio. Sandved, easily the best record. For one thing, they already have 41 points equaling Krakeroy, but points per match ratio is the best of the 4 division losers. Likely. Anyway, depending on what happens with Krakeroy on that one. I don't want to do the math to figure it out, but not sure how that team gained promotion in addition to the league winners, because I didn't see anything in the rules about it. It was champions go up, no playoffs. Well, anyway, we definitely had a tight contest on our hands, and it was well fought all the way to the end, down to the final match of the season, and that's the first time we've really been tested in those regards. I expect that's going to continue, though. It's just going to get tougher because our development, at least it exists now, but our development is slow. And the opposition, as we climb the ladder, just gets better and better and better. Our gap to the field just gets smaller and smaller. And I think we've reached that stage, because like I said, last season I expected a title and us to be battling the top 3. And look, it was top 2 only, but yes, we ended up with just a 2-point victory. So is next season another title? I don't know. I mean, we could be mid-upper table. I don't think we're going to have any threat whatsoever towards relegation or anything along those lines. I think we're still going to be one of the better teams, but I don't know if we're going to be the best team in the coming season. There's a lot to happen. Let's get through the year in review here real quick. The other thing I didn't notice at first, I saw it, I just didn't register it. I looked back, wait a second. Relentia 2 being relegated. I believe what has happened here is Relentia 1, Relentia proper, is being relegated down into this division. As a result, for whatever reason that they're being relegated, as a result, their second tier team is being forced down a division because it won't let your senior club play with a 2 or 3 club, though 2 and 3 can seem to play with each other, but not your senior club. And that forced relegation is triggering something along the lines of Mercantile getting a free promotion because they play in the same division to replace Relindia, but I don't know why that would be if Relindia is just facing a regular relegation, unless it's administration of some kind. And that then would make some amount of sense. So they're not the team being relegated proper for finishing last, but maybe they finished 9th or 10th and then faced administration, and the administration penalty was severe enough that it came with relegation. That, to me, seems the logical answer to this odd situation. Anyway, I've speculated on that. Let's go ahead and get that year in review. As we begin our look at the end of season review, let me first talk about what is ahead of us, our little end of episode recap. We're going to open next episode with our youth intake to get into the new season. But before we get to that even, we do have something of note, and that is our chairperson is retiring this year. There's going to be a new vote this year. So that's going to potentially change things. Not likely, but you never know. Cash injection would be massive, even a small one. Even just 100K could get something going, whether it's a coaching badge, whether it's training facilities, whether it's a new stadium. I don't know which, if any of those could happen, but you better believe we will try. We will try to get something on the go if that happens. We don't know that that's going to happen, but here's to hoping, because as we have climbed the ladder halfway now, that's the big question that still remains unanswered. Where do the finances come from? The first answer came recently in the form of a big bank loan to wipe out the debts as they stood. But we're already starting to reaccumulate those debts. Now we know, as we climb that ladder, bigger and bigger financial offers begin to come in, and we can subsequently bring in some cash. Malum heading out. Malum, remember, was returned to us on loan for the season. Season's done, so we are losing Malum. Malum's been a big player for us, so we do need to replace him. I'm not worried about replacing one player. We'll be okay. More likely is the short-term ticket to taking care of those finances, starting to sell off some players. But that easily means we could stall out in a division for a little while we recover those funds, while we build those training facilities in the stadium and everything to take care of the finances long-term, so that we can then go back into hanging on to our players, developing them, training them, getting them better, and then resuming climbing the ladder. So, you never know. We might be in the next tier for quite some time. Could happen. So we've flown through 5 tiers in just 13 episodes, which is awesome. But what do the next 5 tiers have in order for us? I think there's still some pretty big challenges ahead of us, and it's not going to be smooth sailing from here. At least I'm predicting that that's the case. Let's get that Youth Factory FC end of season review taken care of, and we'll call this one a season and an episode. All right, so obviously Malum leaving for Vålerenga. He had a great year. These 17 appearances are after the signing took place, after he was put on loan, so we're not seeing his beginning of season totals. Actually, no, you know what? I think that is his entire season. Remember, we only played 18 matches, so he sat out 1. Not his best year, 3 goals, 6 assists, but the rating suggests that he was actually really good. Number of players that we let go, these are all U19s. These Lamthi, Kuang, right, the most notable there, the only one who really ever played with senior team, went to Loken. Loken is 6th division, so they are 7th tier. He did not drop down very far, and this was our worst player from the first intake that we had. He got 12 appearances, 6.84, not a bad rating, not a great rating, but it just goes to show that literally our worst player that we ever had is still a decent player, just a couple divisions below us. In fact, 1 division below us at the moment. Income almost identical to a year ago. Our match day commercial was actually less than it was last season by a small amount, so that's a little bit disappointing. Sponsors identical. Merchandising, I think, was identical. We had just over $100 last season as well, so not good in that department. Club reputation remains at that local level, but again, it's been building. It has been building. I think we're going to have to get up into higher tiers before it's really going to start to take off, because the leagues we're playing in lack reputation as well. Lovas gets player of the season. That makes perfect sense, as he scored a lot of goals this season. 19. He didn't quite get to that 20 as we were hoping, as he went down injured. Out for a month. He'll be fine well before the season starts. And Astencio, again, tops the assist charts, even though I wasn't selecting him. All right, folks, it was a tight season this time, but we still come out victorious. We'll see what next season has to offer. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.